everyone, today I am modeling the house from the movie Parasite. If you don't know what that is, that's a Korean comedy thriller that came out in 2019. It absolutely swept the floor with all of the awards. I believe it won Oscar for Best Picture and Best Screenplay, so you can tell how amazing that is if you haven't watched the movie. And what fascinates me the most is that the concept and the plot of this movie is very closely intertwined with this house and the structure of this house in this movie. And I'm not going to spoil anything more for you, but if you have watched the movie, I'm sure you know what I mean and are equally psyched about it. So I dug out all the blueprints from the CGI team that actually made the house in the movie, along with quite a few references, and I present to you my rendition of the Parasite house. Timestamps are going to be down below in the description box, and please smash that like button for me if you think I did the movie justice. So here I am cutting out a part of the cube to make the stairs that's going to be leading up to the platform where the house is going to be built. And in the movie, this house is kind of in the neighborhood, like one of the richest neighborhood maybe, and it's built on the top of a hill. And it's in this kind of like it has like a garden design, and it has all sorts of like trees and greens surrounding the building itself. So this is the look I'm going with. I'm also trying to make it stay true to the movie, but at the same time having sort of a low poly isometric look that I like. And here I am just building the foundation for the house. To be honest, making this kind of a modern estate reminds me a lot of the time when I was playing Sims. I'm a big fan of the Sims game, and my favorite part of all the gameplay is always building a house, I would say. So this is really satisfying for me that I am now able to do that in another software. I decided to extrude the surfaces of the buildings directly from the foundation because it's kind of just easier for me to add the textures later on, so I don't have to do too much UV unwrapping for different objects and different surfaces. Here you can see that there's a little bit of a cutout on this part of the ground floor roof, because the architects in the movie decided that they wanted kind of a little small garden there protruding out of this area, so that's why it's left blank. And later on I'm going to add some plants into it, like what it is in the movie, and I think it looks really nice actually. Making this house also made me realize that the houses that I built in Sims before are just absolutely crap. Look at how many kind of levels and structures there is in this building. It's I guess that's what actual architects do instead of like amateurs like me, and it just looks really great having so many levels and different kind of compositions to it. And down here I am cutting out a little space for the garage. So that's where the garage door is going to be. In the actual movie, down the stairs you will have a kind of road leading to this house, and then you can park your car in the garage there. And now it's texturing time. So the main color of this house, the main textures of this house is going to be consisted of a black sort of concrete roof material, and then white brick wall, which I decided to use a real texture on because I think the realistic look is quite great. And then last but not least, there is some kind of a natural wood going on in some of the blocks as well. So when applying the texture, it's if you want to save some effort, because it can be very complicated, all you have to do is press U when you go into the edit mode and select the surfaces that you want to UV unwrap first, and then select U, press U and select Smart UV Project, I believe, and that's going to immediately kind of project the surfaces onto your texture, and that's going to save quite a lot of effort. And that's what I was doing here, I think. So there are actually way more details to this house. There is also a back garden, and unfortunately you can't really see much in this front camera view. So to be honest, I didn't bother doing the details there, but I think it'd be quite cool to actually do all of that. But again, I was lazy, and so on the roof for the ground floor, there is a bit of a grass there as well. So I used the same grass texture that I was going to use for the entire foundation for the garden and everything. So you can see that the house is almost done. The house itself is quite simple. It's a very minimalistic kind of industrial wood look to it. The color are very elegant, very nice going together. And then I used kind of a concrete plate texture for the foundation itself. And oh god, it's so hard to trying to explain what I do without spoiling the movie. And there is a big contrast basically with the other rooms I'm going to build now with the main house, and you're going to see that in a minute. And here I am building the garage door. And yeah, I don't think I put too much details into that. It's just a very simple wooden garage door. Again, it's a part of the house, so the style really resonates with the architecture itself. So I'm just using the same wood. And here I'm making the first basement, and then the second basement. I am trying not to again spoil the movie, so I'm not going to discuss the function of these rooms, but as you can tell, I will be making something kind of different from the main house. To keep to the degree of realism in this particular piece, I am using real textures for the bark, and later on I'm going to cut out leaves from kind of realistic textures as well to use it to populate the plants. So basically the style of this particular piece is going to be quite different from what I usually do. Let me know if you like the look of it. So I have one tree done here, and yeah, my Mac is just extremely slow in rendering anything or just trying to move along to do anything at all, basically. So later on, I added another type of tree in the garden, but I don't think I recorded it because the recording software is just going incredibly slow, and it sounds like my laptop sounds like it's just going to explode at any point. So I had to stop it for a minute, like cool it down, and yeah, that's when I made the other type of tree. And now I am just trying to finish up on the I'm adding a bit of a wood floor into the interior of the house. Well, because there's a glass window there, so later on you are going to see what's going on in there. So I figured a floor is needed. And now we are finally coming to do the furnitures in the basement. So the first basement, it's basically like a storage room, and they in the movie they stored a lot of like, I think it's plum wine or some sort of wine in these jars, and quite a lot of it actually, quite a lot of like preserved food, I suppose, in the basement there. So that's what I went for, just some shelves with some jars. then I give the floor a different wood flooring, something kind of darker, because that's what's shown in the reference photo as well. And then in the movie, you kind of go downstairs into, well, you have to go downstairs into the basement, don't you? But yeah, there's a kind of a wooden stair there right next to the shelves. So I just copy pasted the stairs into there, and then some storage boxes as well, because it's a storage room. So for that room, I decided to give it some ceiling lights, and I used a sort of I think I call it browns. So it's kind of it's a very nice yellow metallic tone color that I think will go well with the basement. But in the second basement that I'm going to make, I'm not going to use any textures that is as posh as that. So the textures are going to be very different. Again, if you want to find out why I did that, please go watch the movie, and I think you're going to come back to this video and appreciate this work much more. Because I'm such a big fan of the movie, I'm trying to do everything according to the plot, according to the setup of the movie, and if you watch the movie, everything will become make so much sense now. And here is a little, you may be wondering what it is. It's like a little tent out here on the lawn. That's because the little boy in the movie, he is a Boy Scout. He loves outdoor activities. He loves going to camping and all of that. And in the movie, there was one time I think he couldn't go camping because it was raining pretty hard or something like that, and he decided to just set up camp in his own garden. So that's why there is a small tent over there. Here I am making a tiny door for the scene. It's mostly because from the angle that the camera is pointing at, you would be able to see the door. So I definitely want it to be as realistic as possible. Okay, the scene is coming together already, but don't stop the video now, because now we're coming to the most exciting part, I think. We're making the furnitures for the second basement, and I am using all of the furnitures are just the silver material, metal material, and I am making a bookshelf here, and this method of making books quick is I learned this from Polygon Runway again, and it's basically extruding from a real reference photo, so it looks like it's actually a stack of books. So simple and so fast, and it looks really good as well. Did you see how fast my mouse is like spinning? My laptop is just going absolutely crazy. Yeah, at this point, because there are a lot of textures involved in the scene already, I don't think my laptop was able to handle it anymore. So I have to like stop it here and there to kind of adjust to that. I should get a better graphic processor maybe to support my work. And here I am making something that what seems like it doesn't make sense at all if you haven't watched the movie. So do watch the movie actually, and then it will make sense to you. And here I've decided to make some light bulbs for the underground, the second basement. And you can see that it's very simple. It's just an exposed light bulb. So as you probably noticed, the style of furniture and the style of decor is already massively different from the first basement and the rest of the house. And there is a reason for that, and you have to watch the movie to find out. But just for the purpose of this video, I had so much fun making all of these furniture because I don't get the chance to make realistic miniature furnitures a lot in the scenes that I do. And here I get to make almost everything. There's a sink, there's a toilet, bookshelves, book, and later on I'm going to be making some fancy sofa for the upstairs as well. So I did a bit of everything here. And now I'm making the very beautiful sofa from upstairs that's going to be placed in the ground floor room. And you can see that I'm already doing something very different in terms of the furniture style. It's much more complicated and sophisticated, and that's because the style of the house is very different in terms of the basement and the rest of the house. So I'm very proud of this sofa. It's almost an exact replicate of what the actual sofa looks like in the movie. And I'm very happy about it. And the table as well. So it's a wooden table with a silver standing, and there's another smaller one that's kind of coming in front of it. So here I'm very sad that even though the sofa is so beautiful that we don't get to see much of it in the ground floor, so I added another one with a different color on the first floor. And that's about it, guys. I adjusted the lighting a bit more and added a background in the end, and I really hope you like the look of it. And I hope that you get to see the movie as well, and come back to this video and tell me how well I did and whether I did the movie justice. And if you enjoy my video so far, please like this video and subscribe to my channel, please. Thank you.